Welcome back to our slightly rainy Arizona retrofit house. We chose this house because it doesn't have an attic or a basement and represents a real retrofit challenge. Now, to meet this challenge, the training department is teamed up with an expert in this type of difficult retrofit job, Jay Conley of Retrotech. Jay, I've been over our wire schedule and I've checked to make sure we've got all the wire. We do. And I've been down our tool list and we've got a bunch of new cool tools to try out. I can't wait.
Great. I think I've got the service mess sorted out so we can get started.
Good. Jay's company specializes in the retrofit of infrastructure wiring, security, and just about everything else. And difficult retrofit jobs are his specialty. Jay, is this going to be a difficult job?
Not too difficult, pretty straightforward. A little hard work, elbow grease, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, that. Okay. Why don't we take a walk around the house and review the job here before we get started?
Okay.
Now, this is, like you mentioned, this is obviously the service entrance. We've got the coaxial cable service and telephone service. Looks like kind of a mess. I see we even have a bird's nest up there, and I understand we've got some eggs in it, so we're going to have to leave this part of the retrofit to last.
We'll have to wait till they move out.
Sure.
Well, as you can see, the different installers have come by. Cable TV and telephone, and basically staple gun and height clip their way around the outside of the house.
It's kind of a mess, and everywhere somebody's needed to get inside, like this telephone service, it looks like they've just brought it down the wall and punched right through.
Bored straight through the wall.
Yeah, looks like they haven't been to our retrofit school.
Nope.
And they've done it over here as well. We've got another, I see another TP service that's been dropped down and punched in. Coaxial cable peels off, just bores right through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this go?
Well, it continues all the way around the front of the house.
Let's take a look. Yeah.
As you can see, they've continued the wires along the front of the house.
Yep.
Staple gun, height clipped. They've even got a splice here in the coax.
Ooh, barrel connector, that's going to corrode out. No,
yes.
No question.
And that continues here, straight down the wall, into the exercise room. This here's been a mistake. The owner tells me that that's actually underneath the bathtub.
So they drill from the outside in rather than the inside out.
Correct.
What were they thinking? Let's go inside and review how we're going to do this job.
Okay.
Now, we're going to be removing all of that wire you saw on the outside of the house and installing it in the walls where it's supposed to go in the first place. This single-story house was built in 1964 using concrete block exterior walls with a brick veneer. It's built on a concrete slab and has no attic space, so it represents a real retrofit challenge. We'll be installing an infrastructure wiring system with TP and coax outlets in each room, a security system monitoring most of the doors and windows, in-wall speakers in the living room, and ceiling speakers in the master bedroom. Now, our first challenge is over here in the living room where the customers got the entertainment equipment inconveniently located on the wrong side of the room. We've got a lot of wire here, and there doesn't look like to be an easy way to get it from here to other places in the house.
Now, this room is going to be the greatest challenge of this job.
Right. Now, earlier, Jay, I went around and marked locations, and I reviewed the wire schedule, and we got a lot of wire here. I've got a Cat5 for telecommunications. I've got an internal RG6, an external RG6. I've got an RG6 for the satellite feed. And we've got two 4-conductor speaker cables. Now, I know that not only are we going to try to eliminate the outside wiring, we're going to try to eliminate this inside wiring the customer has run around for the rear speakers here across the floor. So we've got a lot of wire here, and we've got to get it from here to other places in the house, and this looks like our challenge. And we talked about running it on the outside of the front of the house here where the fireplace was, right?
Correct. But there again, the fireplace is unforgiving. We would have to go exposed at some point in time. And the owner's trying to get away from that. So we're going to run all our wires into the back.
Okay, so we're going to come from here to the back of the house.
Correct. We're going to
do that.
Up the wall, and we're going to get into the ceiling. And I'm going to cut a little hole in the ceiling. At that point, I'm going to send the fish tape all the way to the back of the house.
Well, that audio cable has got to go around to feed our surround sound speakers on the back wall here. We're putting surround in the wall here, these two locations, and feeding them then from that cable up here somehow.
Correct. And our distribution center being on the other side of this wall, there's a closet where
Okay.
we're locating our distribution center. We'll also be able to pick up our front door that way.
We got a security sensor in the front door. We're going to bring that back here as well. So that takes care of this room. Let's go take a look at the dining room, see what we've got in there. So all we've got here in the dining room is a security sensor here on the door, right?
Correct.
And you're going to drill up and catch that on the
Yes,
outside
we'll get
as well.
that through the freeze boards also with our main trunk.
Good. Let's check the kitchen.
Okay.
Security on the door, I assume.
Security on the door and Cat 5 for the phone.
And we're replacing, that's where they just punch right through the wall on the outside.
Correct.
We'll fix that. Let's check out the office.
Okay.
So in the office, it looks like all we've got is 2 Cat 5s and an RG6 for the workstation. Going up the wall again, I assume.
Yes, we'll go up the wall, get into our ceiling, use our fish tape again to get across the soffit, puts us right at our distribution center.
Sounds easy. Now, I noticed we've also got a nice closet in this room. And the nice thing about the closet is it also gives us access to this ductwork space. And this, we're going to use this to gain access to the master bedroom, which is right on the other side. Over here we've got a Cat 5, an RG6, and we've got a speaker cable we've got to run. We can use this space.
Correct.
Okay, let's go take a look at that. Now, the main feature in the master bedroom is this entertainment center. Now, we're going to be installing 2 in-ceiling speakers here and running speaker wire down to this entertainment equipment. And to do that, we're going to install 2 wall plates behind the cabinet. We're going to install one plate for the speaker wiring, which will wire from the equipment to the plate, and then we're going to install another plate for 2 RG6s for the equipment as well. Now, to get the wire from the speaker wall plate, Jay, we've got a couple of choices, right?
Correct.
What's our optimum way to do this?
Well, I think the best way to do it is to get up the wall and into our ceiling again and shoot to the back, remove our fascia up to here, and then we can shoot a fish tape from here and get both our speaker wires on one pole.
Sort of like we did before, out, fascia, up again.
Correct.
Now, we could possibly go up back into the drop ceiling space as well. Is that right?
Yes, we could, but I'm thinking that this is probably the most beneficial way to do it.
A lot easier. Okay, what else we got in here?
We've got a Category 5 wire we need to run over here in this corner.
Okay, that's for our telephone outlet. We're going to put that there and run it up the wall into this drop ceiling space as well.
Into our soffit space right here, which we also have to pick up a satellite dish feed.
Oh, that's right.
Outside here.
That's right. We're going to pre-wire 2 RG6s for the satellite. Take them back to the distribution center. We can pick that up as well.
Correct.
Okay, let's look at our other 2 rooms and get started. Okay, Jay, this is the guest room, what we're calling bedroom 1, and on the wall next to that master bath, we've got a telephone outlet, and on this wall, we've got a coaxial cable outlet. We're going to replace that where they bored in from the outside wall. Okay, let's go look at bedroom 2, aka the exercise room.
Okay.
Okay, in here we've just got 1 wall plate for a TP and a coaxial cable outlet. And this is the room where we're going to use the closet to mount our distribution center. We're going to do the distribution and security panel in here. Jay, you told me earlier why we picked this closet.
It's got the most junk in it.
So we want to use the closet that's got the most junk. And like you said earlier, Retrofit installer spends most of his time taking junk out of closets and moving furniture.
Absolutely.
Now, why are we really going to use this space?
Well, there's 2 reasons. First one being it's the center of the house. It keeps most of our runs the same length.
Right, we've got the living room is on the other side of this where we were when we first came in, and all the bedrooms are down in this direction, and we're sort of centrally located next to that drop ceiling space.
Correct. We have a full ceiling here also, so we'll be able to cut a hole above the drop ceiling and look right into it.
Okay, so we're going to mount our distribution center on this wall, go up into that space to get our cable runs this way.
Correct.
Right, and that also gives us access to those surround sound speakers we're going to do in the living room. Good. Now, we've covered the entire installation, and we've taken a look at what we're going to do. Now, let's take a look at how we're going to do it in a little more detail. All of the cable runs in the house will originate at the distribution equipment in the exercise room closet. and use the drop ceiling space in the hall to get to the rest of the house. The plan in your workbook shows the path of each major cable run we'll be installing. Now, this drop ceiling space provides access for the air conditioning ductwork to run from the far end of the house all the way above the master bath to the air conditioner itself down the hall to feed the rest of the house that we're here in the living room. And it makes a jog, and there's a suspended ceiling as well in the kitchen that's used for ductwork to feed down to the dining room area. Now, this space is key for us to feed all the way down to catch all the other bedrooms in the house from our central distribution device we just saw on this side of the wall. So this will work perfect for us. You know, we mentioned a couple of times this theory of getting behind the fascia plate. That's where those wires are stapled. Let's go take a look and see how that's going to work.
Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do back here is I'm going to pull this fascia board all the way to there, drill holes through our joist along the back of the house.
Okay, now this is to pick up, this is where we're going to run the service entrance wire, and we're even going to pick up that cable from the entertainment center out here as well,
correct,
right? And this, you're going to make these holes in that space between the roof and the ceiling.
Yes.
How far are we going?
Well, we'll get along all the way to the back of the house until we get right in here. And I believe this will give us a clear path to our distribution center.
Right above the kitchen?
Correct.
Yeah, let's take a look, see where that aims up.
Okay. And that pretty much puts us right here on the edge of this window frame. And we'll be up in the ceiling and run a fish tape all the way across that soffit into our distribution center.
Okay, let's go see where that comes out on the other side.
Okay, and this closet is directly in line with our kitchen. So when we sent the fish tape in from the back of the house, we're going to cut a hole right up here and find it, tie a wire onto it, and start pulling wires.
So we can either pull from here, pull this way, or pull back the other way.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, sounds like a good theory. We'll see if it works.
It'll work. Where I'm going to start is I'm going to pull this fascia board. I'm going to start drilling our holes through the joist.
Okay.
And set my boxes of wire right here and start pulling to the distribution center.
Okay. Well, I volunteered for closet empty duty, so I got to work on that for a while. Then I'm going to prep the outlets and put in the retrofit rings.
Great.
I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to mount this distribution panel. Now the panel is designed to mount between 16-inch on center studs into the wall cavity. And it's got a place for cables to route in on the top, and there's electrical service on the bottom. We'd typically like to mount this as close to the front of the closet as I can to provide easy access for the homeowner. We're going to mount our security panel right above here. So all the cables coming down will either catch the security panel or our distribution panel. And remember, at the top of the closet, we've got easy access to the drop ceiling ductwork space where we're going to bring our service in and service cables to the bedrooms. Okay, I got the distribution center ready to go in. Want to see how you're going? Hey, you're pulling the service entrance wire, right?
Yep, that's what we're pulling now.
I'll give you a hand.
Okay, I'm gonna watch
Make sure
those
this
wires.
thing doesn't get kinked up. So we're pulling two RG6s and two Category 5s, and Jay's pulling from this point, and when we get it all the way to the distribution device, we'll pull the rest of it back to the service entrance. Again, that's the last thing we're going to do. We don't want to disturb the birds.
I think we've got enough. We'll pull enough to get into the distribution center and shoot our fish tape in.
All right. After cutting an access hole on top of the exercise room closet, Jay carefully pushes the fiberglass fish tape over the AC duct and out the ceiling space where I'm waiting. Okay, I've got it, Jay. That's good. I'm going to attach the cable to the end of it and let you pull it back. We next start the cable run to the entertainment center, by drilling an 1.25 inch hole through the ceiling center beam to get the cables to the other side of the room. This requires 16 feet of drill extension. Once this works, we feed the second cable run to the distribution center down the ceiling joist through a second set of holes. Now this cable has everything we need from the rear of the house. This has the audio and entertainment cables from the entertainment center. This has the security wires in it for our rear doors here. It has the wire for the telephone in the kitchen, security sensors for the office, and the remaining Category 5 and RG cables. I then cut the outlet holes at the living room entertainment center. Meanwhile, Jay works pull rods across the ceiling through the hole we previously drilled through the center beam. He then cuts a small access in the sheetrock to the ceiling and wall space. Okay, Jay's about 10 feet short in the ceiling from that ceiling beam to where he's made a hole in the ceiling. So I'm going to feed him some more on this rod and see if we can't make it all the way. Okay, Jay, I'm feeding it in. Let me know if you catch it.
Okay, Grayson, I got it.
Good. Next, he notches the corner joist to gain access to the wall cavity from the ceiling space. We're finally ready to pull the entertainment center cable across the ceiling. Jay will then fish the cable down the gap between the sheetrock and the block wall to the outlet holes.
Okay, right now I'm getting ready to remove this board so we can access our front door sensor. At that point I'll drill straight up, shoot my fish tape all the way into the ceiling, right in front of our distribution center.
To get this fish rod in to where Jay has got the security wire in the distribution closet, I'm going to put this sort of egg beater on the end of this pole, try and get it over the top, hop it over the top of the cross braces that are between the joists here. I can easily see them with the flashlight, so it's no problem knowing when I've got them over it. You punched me.
Jason, I got it.
Good work. I'm getting ready to mount two of these Sonance in-wall speakers here for the rear channel of the surround sound. Now, these speakers are real nice for retrofit because of these. They have two brackets on the rear which go into a square hole on the wall, jockey in position, and these screws just clamp these rear brackets in place to hold the speaker nicely in the wall. So it works real well. Now Jay and I are going to run the speaker wire for these two rear speakers in the living room. Now the way we're going to do this is a little circuitous, and it's theoretical, and like any retrofit job, you have your theoretical and you have what really works. Theoretically, we're going to drill up into the ceiling space above each one of these speaker holes. I'm going to feed a pull wire up into that ceiling cavity. Now Jay's going to come in from the outside where he removed the fascia board above the front door for the security cable, and he's going to go in and grab those and pull them out. which is not the direction we want to go. But in the meantime, he's also going to run a feed wire, a push rod, back up through the cavity space back into the drop ceiling to grab above the central distribution location. Now we're going to attach the pull wires that we pulled out to that pull wire and pull it back. So we can then grab the speaker wires and pull it with it back into that central distribution point where we'll meet up with those speaker wires that came all the way around from the outside of the house. Worked good. All right, I'm going to do the other one. Okay, I'm going to push a feed wire up through that hole that I just made, and Jay's going to try and grab it from the outside. Now, to make this job easier for me, again, I'm going to use the little periscope tool and use this to guide my wire up in the ceiling. It takes a steady hand to push the end of this into a half-inch hole, but I got it. Okay, I'm right underneath the insulation, and we're going to see if Jay can grab it. Okay, Jay, try it.
Success.
Ready?
Yep.
And there it is. Simple as that. Well, what we tried to do was use this piece of fish tape into the ceiling space and then have it bend back into this cavity so we could grab it. But for some reason, we could only get it to go toward the front door. So we pushed it all the way to the front door. Jay put another pull wire all the way back, pulled our speaker wire again out to the front door. We've attached it to this fish tape, and we're going to pull it back. I've got the wire, Jay. Now all we have to do is connect them back in the distribution center, and we're done. I'm just getting ready to mount the outlet here in the bedroom 2 or exercise room. We're going to put an outlet here for coaxial cable and twisted pair cable. Now I'm going to make a hole right in the middle. And I'm going to double check. No, it looks like I'm clear. Jay and I take a few minutes to figure out how to reach the TP and coax outlets in the exercise and guest room. We decide to pull a bundle of cables for both rooms out the ceiling from the AC duct space to a point near the exercise room outlet. Jay first removes sections of the fascia in front of the house to gain access to the exercise and guest room walls. He then fishes a push rod up the ceiling across the hall AC duct to the office closet where he's previously cut a small access hole. Okay, I've got the other fish tape. Got any luck?
I got my push rod from outside.
Oh, okay, this is great. It came right through the hole you got. Did you have to fish around for it a lot?
No, it was right there.
Excellent, excellent.
Give me that fish tape, we'll shoot this one down to the distribution center.
Now, what Jay's going to try to do is fish this thing down over the air conditioning ductwork. We're in the office space. Fish it down over the ductwork, down into the exercise room closet where we have the central distribution space. I'm going to pick it up there. Now that's going to let us get a wire back from the distribution closet up over the air conditioning duct. He's going to tie onto it from the pull line outside. We'll pull it back outside, then feed it back down into the outlets on the other side of the wall in the exercise room. Sounds easy. And we'll see how it works. All right, you push. I'm going to go down here and see if I can't grab it.
Okay.
I've got the fiberglass fish rod that Jay fished down from the office closet down to this part of the house, and I'm just getting ready to attach the cables. We're going to pull two RG6s and a Cat 5 from here down there. Now that's an intermediate stopping point. He's got the fish tape from there and out the outside walls. Okay, give it a pull. Jay then attaches the cables to the pull rod he fed from the front of the house, and then he goes back out front and pulls the cables out. He next drills a path through the ceiling joist to get the coax cable to the guest room wall, while I drill up through the top plate in the exercise room to the ceiling space. Okay. Looks like it went all the way through, Jay. Can you see it? Jay then attaches the coax and TP cables from the outlet to the end of the drill. Okay, Jay, I've got the cable. We then do the same process for the guest room coax outlet. Jay then tackles the security sensors on the back of the house, starting with the office door. Jay uses a thin fish wire up through the hole. Reaching in and grabs it and attaches the security cable he pulled earlier. Next, he drills holes for sensors in the kitchen door and dining room door. Well, it's the start of the third day on the job. Now, we finished just about everything in the front of the house. We've got the living room, the dining room, the exercise room. We've got to do the office. We finished one more of the guest room. So all we have left, Jay, is this side of the house. Is that right?
Correct.
So we've got master bedroom, one guest room, and that's about it in the office, right?
And the satellite feed.
So you're working on the satellite feed, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So when you get that drill through, we're going to go try to make a straight shot all the way down to the distribution center.
Once I drill this, we'll be on top of this vent here. Hopefully I can follow the vent all the way down that hallway and right in front of that distribution center.
We're going to use that to try and pick up these other two. We've got the telephone in the guest room and the one in the master bedroom.
Correct.
Right about here and just on the other side there. Good. When you get that through, let me know, and I'll give you a hand pulling that thing down.
Okay.
Jay has pushed a push rod all the way up to this end of the house from the outside where we saw him boring a hole earlier. We had to make an intermediate stop in that office closet to redirect it. Now, I'm going to use tape this time. He's got to go through a narrow hole. To get the TP cables down the walls, Jay cuts small notches, similar to the one he did for the entertainment center, and checks to make sure he's clear of the AC duct above. Jay's trying to grab a fish wire that I've got pushed up in the master bath here. I'm trying to get the last TP cable in to the guest room. Feels like you got it.
Gotcha.
Now he's going to attach that last TP cable to this fish wire. We're going to pull it back into the small opening in the master bath so we can get it into the guest room wall. While I cut the outlet opening, Jay feeds the TP cable down the wall to the guest room outlet. He does the same process on the other side to get the TP cable into the master bedroom outlet, while I start on the master bedroom ceiling speakers. Okay, Jay and I are going to feed the speaker wires for these in-ceiling speakers. He's going to feed this fish tape all the way back out into the drop ceiling area again, and I've got closet duty. I'm going back into the office closet, reach up, grab this thing and pull it into the office closet. Then we're going to go back down the ceiling in the office closet, back into the wall to reach this outlet down here where it'll attach to the entertainment center. Okay, that's one half of the job. We got the cable from the top of the closet back to the speaker holes. Now we got to get it to the outlet. And to do that, we're going to use another one of our wire drill bits to mark this location in the wall where the outlet is, so Jay won't be able to find it from the other side. Okay, finally the last wires of the day. These are RG6s and Cat 5 to the master bedroom behind that entertainment center. We get these done. That's it. Jay used another fish wire to get the cables from the access hole to his small ceiling notch, where he then fed them down the wall to the master bedroom outlet. Into the third day, we've got all the wiring done in the house. We've got the speaker wire, the coaxial cable, telecommunications cable, and security. We're all done. Now we've still got to trim it out and test the system, and we'll do that, take us another day, day and a half?
Day and a half, 2 days.
Right. And then we'll document, we'll come back and show you how it works. Now, Jay, we've still got to remove all of this cable that was on the outside of the house. We've left that up so the customer has service while we're doing this. As soon as we cut it over, we'll remove that. And I think we still got a problem with a bird in the service entrance.
We're still waiting on the birds to move.
Okay, we'll have to do that later. We have to install the outlet hardware, then we're going to test the coax and TP cable runs. Then we're going to attach it to the distribution center and cut service over at the service entrance. Earlier, we installed the speakers in the living room and master bedroom and finished installing and testing the security sensor devices. Jay mounted the security panel over the access hole you saw earlier. Now this will make it easier if we have to come back and add wires in the future. And we also left some pull cords from different parts of the house to make it easier to get additional wires in. Now this outlet was a little tricky for us because it's on an outside wall, and all the outside walls in the house are concrete block with the sheetrock mounted on furring strips. Now this gives us just 1.5 inches clearance between the outside and the concrete block, just enough so I can install right angle F connectors on the outlet, which gave us just enough room to mount this outlet in the wall. And as soon as I get this thing mounted, we'll start our final testing. Since you don't have to worry about other trades damaging the cable on a retrofit install, testing the cables is quick and is used mainly to verify proper connector installation and cable labeling. Now, after I test each cable, I simply attach it to the distribution device. Now, when I get done here, we're going to be ready to cut service over to the new wiring and get rid of that old wiring nightmare attached to the side of the house. Well, this is definitely going to make the house look an awful lot better with all this wire removed from the outside. Go. Well, that about wraps this job up. Jay's removing the last bit of the old wiring, and I've cut service over to the new wiring, and we've even left a little bit around the old bird's nest to keep that intact until the eggs are hatched. We've got about 3 places left where we've got to touch up sheetrock where we made small holes to run the wires, and that's about it. Well, Jay, I hope I haven't slowed you too much on the job. I've enjoyed working with you.
Well, I've enjoyed working with you too, Grayson. You did real well for an amateur.
Well, I hope I gave you a little bit of a hand. And speaking of that, it's only been a 1 Band-Aid job for me so far. How about you?
No Band-Aids for me.
This guy's lying. I know I've seen this man bleed on this job.